What is going on, everybody? Welcome to Four Corners Podcast on
Live.
live on YouTube, Facebook, Twitch, and a few other places. Today, we have a very awesome conversation that we're going to be talking about today. It's all about wrestling. It's not about
All
stupid
wrestling.
shit. It's not about recovery. It's about wrestling. That.
I can smell it.
Do you smell?
I can smell it.
I smell what The Rock is cooking.
I smell what we're cooking.
What are you cooking, Dave?
Oh, I'm not cooking your pies. That's for sure.
Oh shit! For the longest time, like my house smelled like cheesecake, man.
Dude. Every day I wake up and I'm just like, what's he baked today? What's he baked today? And then yesterday you crippled me because I love pistachios and I'm like, oh, son of a bitch.
Let
What's
me
he doing
tell
now?
you. Let me tell you. That cheesecake that I made, the pistachio butter cheesecake, the best that I've ever made.
Wow.
Yeah. It had a brown sugar
Uh,
lemon frosting on the top. It combated the pistachio flavor.
Bit enough. But that saltiness.
Yeah.
Oh, dude.
It was just like perfectly, dude. I hands down my favorite that I've ever made.
I showed my missus a picture of you, and I said, "Look at this guy." I said, "Look at this guy." I said, "What's the first thing you think of when you look at this guy?" She goes, "Viking." And I
Yeah.
went, "Yeah. What else? What else? There's got to be some more. There's some more." And then she said, and I said, "What if I told you daily?" And I said, "This is daily. This man's hands are in the kitchen, mixing up butter, mixing up sugar, getting his baking tray. He's getting the. I said he's getting his baking hands. I said, what if I told you that? She went, I wouldn't really picture him that way. I said, he loves the shit.
Yeah.
It's therapeutic, isn't it?
Yeah. I love baking. Everything about it. I love baking. But we're not here to talk about
No.
baking or my food or any of that. We are here to talk about wrestling and the product that has been put out, the product that we get every week. We're here to talk about it, analyze it, and get your perspective. In the chat, I put out the StreamYard, or sorry, the Restream link. So if you want to come in, you want to give your opinions on what we're talking about, feel free to. Just let us know. Drop a comment in the comment section. Let us know where you're at, where you're watching from. We would love to hear back from you. So,
Amen.
Dave, we're gonna start off with Wrestle Dream. Ooh, I gotta say, man, I bought Wrestle Dream. I don't know if you did. The last, All In, I didn't buy it. I didn't buy it on pay per view. To me, the card wasn't as stacked as I felt Wrestle Dream was. How do you feel about that?
I agree. Totally. This for me. Like I said, it's not. This isn't a negative thing we do, people. It's got to be all positive. But there has to be that kind of it. Do you know what I mean? It's without us stepping over the line and bombarding things with hate. It has to be. Nothing's perfect.
Yeah.
But I find AEW booking very. It's hit and miss. It's pointless at times. It's gimmicky,
Yeah.
you know. And I found All In just that. I think the whole point of All In was just to kind of put one to the WWE,
Yeah.
you know, where Wrestle Dream was a fucking wrestling. It was a wrestling show,
It
you
was.
know. Key word at the start, wrestle.
Yeah.
That's exactly what it was.
I had a lot of fun watching Wrestle Dream. I had a lot of emotion into it, right? There's a lot
Mhm.
of times where I watched it and I was like, man, this is the AEW that I miss, right? The AEW that I got invested in 3-4 years ago that
It
they
had that
lost a lot.
throwback feel to it.
Yeah.
It had that kind of WCW, that it was edgy. It was
Yeah.
edgy. It was kind of like a back and two. I wouldn't say it was predictable.
Yeah. Yeah.
It was solid.
It was definitely unpredictable. I didn't think that what we would get is the caliber of show that we got. And so for me, I really, really thoroughly enjoyed Wrestle Dream. I thought it was good. So I'm getting comments on Facebook. We'll address it. Chris says, "Brother, how are you?" A good friend of mine. And Sarah says hello from WNC Mountains, so Western North Carolina Mountains. Well, hello, Sarah. Hello, Chris. What I have to say is the show that we got for Wrestle Dream was not a show that I can say that was anticipating. I went into it like fully with the thought that it was gonna be shit, like it was going to be terrible, and because that's what we got for the last two shows from AEW, we didn't get anything good.
It's been the
I didn't
television as
feel
well.
like,
Yeah.
oh yeah, that I'm the first to say I love AEW, but I'm also the first to say that it sucks, right? It sucks at times.
It's far from there. Yeah.
It's fucking terrible at times, and it's unbearable to watch. The promos are terrible.
Yeah.
Too much going on in the ring. Too much going on in the ring, and not enough storytelling.
No, I
But this,
actually think that is one of their main issues
yeah,
is there is zero of it.
yeah. I watched when I watched it, I was just like I felt that old school feel again that I felt when I first started, right? And we'll run down the card. Let me look up the card real quick what they had. But I gotta ask, what do you feel was match of the night?
I gotta go with Christian.
Yeah, you think
I
Christian
gotta
was?
go with Christian and Darby, and it's a weird thing for me because I wouldn't normally go for that.
Yeah,
I think it was. The anticipation of one thing, which we will discuss.
yeah.
But Danielson's match was fucking. You know, does Brian Danielson get the credit he deserves?
Absolutely not. Absolutely
No,
not.
no.
That man does not get the credit he deserves. He does not get the flowers that he deserves. That man gets,
Mhm.
dare I say, he is the best wrestler alive.
Oh yeah, definitely, definitely.
Too,
You know,
too, yeah. It's too easy to say that he's the best wrestler alive.
he's without doubt. Well, and I reiterate this that man he's not one for wanting strips of gold round his waist.
No.
And I think his mainish thing with to AEW was he conquered WWE. He'd become the one thing that he wasn't, and that was an entertainer. Entertaining. He wanted to go back to what he was, and that was a wrestler. He's
Yeah.
gone to AEW, which is a wrestling promotion, or it was, and is trying to find its stripes again. But you can see the guys he's going in the ring with, and what he's trying to accomplish is he wants to put wrestling back on the map.
Oh, absolutely. I've heard a lot of people say that Danielson's booking doesn't make sense. The matches that he is in don't make sense. And what I have to say to them and what I've said to them is that Danielson handpicks his opponents,
Yeah.
right? He doesn't go to Tony Khan and Tony Khan says, "Hey, tonight you're going to wrestle X." He handpicks his opponents, and there's a reason why you don't see him wrestling every single week. He handpicks his opponents. He handpicked Ricky Starks. He handpicked Zack Sabre Jr. He handpicked Mox. All these people because he wants to give that crowd the best possible professional wrestling match that they can have. And I'll fucking say the day I die, that man is putting down some of the best work I have seen anybody put down since Benoit.
Yeah, yeah. Not a lot of people like to hear that name, but hey, it's unexcusable what he did. But that man was the best fucking professional wrestler on the planet.
Hands
You
down.
know, followed by Guerrero. Followed by, I rarely hear his name mentioned. That's Dean Malenko.
Dean is one of my
You
other
know, wasn't known as the man of 1,000 olds for nothing.
right.
You know,
Yeah.
there is a very, very small list of people, professional wrestlers.
Yeah.
You know, and some of the people that you hear say, "Oh, he's the best in the business," but no, best entertainer maybe can't wrestle for shit.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah. I think Danielson doesn't get the credit he deserves for being the best in the world, but also he's putting on some of the best, like I said, he's putting on some of the best fucking matches that I've seen anybody put on, and I don't think that there's a lot of people that can hang with Danielson.
No.
I mean, Danielson's injury prone, but we've seen him compete with injuries after Kazuchika Okada broke his arm and he still wrestled for what, 15 minutes after.
You're noticing I'm noticing there's a bit of a trend with AEW, and it's all WWE or former WWE talent come to AEW and they get injured dead easy. They get injured dead easy. I don't know whether that's because there is a massive, WWE. Obviously, we don't want to say that's a word fake, but there is a certain kind of winding in the WWE, and they restrict the hell of a lot. Miro, we've seen cropped a few times. Mox cropped a few times now, but that I would say the thing with Mox is he's wrestling again. Phoenix ain't safe.
No,
it is his style is very, very traditional and respected. But they wrestle. What I want to say, they wrestle their own kind in lucha libre. When they come up against guys that these guys can't take them bumps. So I mean, bad concussion, and then Phoenix goes and injures himself.
That TNT championship is cursed.
I'm like, wow.
All right, so match. I'll go into it. Match of the night for me was Danielson and Zack Sabre Jr.
Sabre Jr. is special.
Oh God, he's so good.
You know what, dude? That G1, I was praying he came out the winner. Because I just feel sometimes with New Japan, it needs a breath of fresh air. And you look at the guys like Ospreay, Sabre, they're waiting in the wings. And the last few years, same Tokyo Dome.
Yep. New Japan needs to be shaken up, man. Like, no joke. New Japan needs to be shaken up. Let Okada go run some shit in US for a little bit. Let Naito go. Let Sonata go. Let Evil go. Let all these other dudes go and switch it up a little bit, right?
Yeah.
Like, you had Switchblade on your roster, and you just let them go, right? And you have all these other dudes on your roster, and you just let them go, right?
Well, what doesn't make sense to me, right? And I know we're trying to cover Wrestle Dream, but I mean, I want to get your concept on this.
Yeah.
What gets me is the one thing that New Japan have struggled to do for several years is break the place that they want to break, and that's not.
Yeah.
I've seen tickets sales at events. And they're struggling to break 5,000 Never mind, 13,000, 15,000 capacity arenas. They came to the United Kingdom with ROH.
Yeah.
Back in 2016 when I went, and AJ Styles was. I was age 2014. It was when Styles first went to New Japan.
Yeah.
And he was against Naito.
Yeah.
And don't get me wrong, the more intimate, the better, I think. You know what I mean? The more you can hear the pin drop and things like that. And they were in like an 11,000 arena, and they sold barely 4,000 tickets. And I was like, when you look at these things, you're like, what are people watching?
Right.
And you're like, you've got people using them, but then as soon as you're pushing them, you're going back to the old guard constantly.
They have a really bad flaw of not creating new stars, not creating the future, right? And that was the problem back in the day with Antonio Inoki. He didn't want to push people.
No.
And that is perpetuated, right? And so when you get guys that break the mold, like your AJ Styles, your Nakamura's, your Omegas, Balor's, guys of that caliber that break the mold and they don't push them, it's fucking frustrating as a fan to watch. And I'm pretty sure it's yeah. But yeah, going down the card of Wrestle Dream, we'll start at a 0 hour. First match, Claudio Castagnoli and Josh Barnett. What did you think about that?
Disappointed me.
It what?
I disappointed me.
Yeah.
I felt like former Ring of Honor world champion deserved a bit better than, Bloodsport, Mr. Barnett.
Yeah.
I just think, for a long time, I did, Castagnoli, former Ring of Honor with the Kings of Wrestling with Chris. Then he went to WWE as Cesaro. Now he's Claudio Castagnoli again, and I'm still feeling that they're missing the point of how fucking good this guy is.
Yeah,
they're
missing the mark.
They're utilizing a former promotion, which was a wrestling promotion, and they're using it as a feeder for, all talent that they've signed that they can't really cater for. And I'm sorry, but Castagnoli, for me, is easily one of in the top 10.
Oh, yeah.
Best guys in. It just, listen, Barnett can wrestle. We know that. You know what I mean? We know his history in UFC. We know who he is. We know he's got his own promotion of Bloodsport and things like that. But I've heard a few people say that this kind of it's face off at Bloodsport, and I'm like, I really don't want to see that, because that type of shit will go and get years.
Yeah. Oh, definitely. Yeah, I would agree. I don't think that. I think they did it for the value of Mox was trained in combat martial arts by Josh Barnett, and to prove himself. But I mean, Claudio's already proven himself multiple and time again. Like, we don't fucking need that, right? Like, I love Eddie Kingston, but I didn't want to see Eddie Kingston versus Claudio.
No,
I didn't want to. So yeah, I mean, for me,
again, that's the case of the booking, isn't it? It was a case of booking. It was a case of they booked Wrestle Dream, Claudio Castagnoli losing that title to Kingston that close together. It was just kind of like, oh well, we'll do that.
Yeah,
where they could have just left the Ring of Honor title to be defended at Wrestle Dream.
Yeah, absolutely. It was only a week apart.
That's it.
Yeah. All right, moving on. We got Shane Taylor, Lee Moriarty, Diamante, and Mercedes Martinez against Satoshi Kajami, Keith Lee, Athena, and Billy Starks in the pre-show.
I'm a Shane Taylor boy. You know what I mean? I
Yeah.
know. I know Shane personally. Um, I'm a Shane Taylor guy, and the Pretty Boy Killers. I think we're gonna see it very, very soon. We're gonna see it very, very soon.
That exchange between Shane Taylor and Keith Lee was amazing.
Yeah,
Was awesome. I think that allowing Kojima to pick up the win was really cool too. I'm not sold on Billy Starks though.
me
I'm
neither.
not, and I think that that once again Athena's been watered down. But that's just me.
Oh, it's not just you, brother. It's not just you. It's not just
Yeah,
you. It's a case of who is she?
yeah,
Who
yeah.
is she? I remember seeing that girl before she signed WE, and she was a breath of fresh air. She
Oh yeah.
moans about the way she was treated in WWE. Girl, you ain't getting treated any better where you are.
Mm-mm. No, definitely not. And
You, you identity.
no, no,
I don't
and
know
putting her in no, and putting. I think the one of the most damaging things that AEW could have done to her was putting her, pretty much debuting her parallel to Jade Cargill and having her lose to Jade,
you.
right?
And
Like
I've heard a
somebody
lot of
that's
people
already.
speak. I've heard a lot of people speak negative of that. That it was the wrong thing. No, it was the right thing to do.
You think it was the right? Well,
I was the right thing to do
I
because
I can agree. I can agree. Well, I'll play devil's advocate here. They debuted her for her to lose. Now, you can look at it two different ways. It hurt Athena, but also you can also look at it helped Jade because
it helped Jade.
she beat an
It helped Jade.
established name. She beat an established name. Now the problem that I
Mhm.
have is if they were trying to get her, Jade more relevant,
Yeah, yeah.
they should have put her up against the likes of Britt Baker.
Uh-huh. I
Britt's
can
an
agree with that.
established.
I can agree with that. But I can also again we can go back to booking, and there didn't seem to be any big plan. If they'd have made that feud, right? If they'd have made that feud and booked it like a WWE 2K, you know, 8 weeks, eight
Yep.
weeks. Let's go 3 months with this. They go back and two. They go back and two. She takes the loss. She takes the L. She takes the L, and then boom, she
Yeah.
takes the W. Because we
Yeah.
all know when you were looking at Cargill's run, they were booked, you know, and she
Yeah.
looked very green at times, but she was learning. She was learning. She was learning,
Yeah.
and she handles her business, you know. Um, you don't go and sign high profile people for them to lie down. You don't sign people who are considered to be underachieving in a promotion where they should be up there.
Yeah.
And that's what, Ember Moon was. And, you know, TK dropped the ball, I think. Um, I don't know who she is. And I just, I look at that women's division, to be honest with you, and I'm kind of, it just,
Yeah. It's deplete. They've got a lot of good names, but they don't have anybody established. One of my, and I know that we're not supposed to be talking about things we don't like, but I mean that's kind of like the nature of being a wrestling fan. We talk about things we like,
Mhm.
don't like. I don't like that they threw the title on Paige. It felt very pandering. Or Soraya. I don't like that they did that at Wembley. Right?
See,
It
I'm a huge Mercedes Martinez fan, and that's another one.
Yeah.
I just look at it and I think, wow,
Yeah.
they really don't know the talent they've got.
No, and
Um,
I'll say right now, the best woman in their division. There's two of them. The best woman in their division. One is active, one's not. Serena Deeb and fucking and Hikaru Shida. Two of the two best. Mercedes Martinez, she's up there. But I don't think that there's anybody else really.
I want to say Thunder Rosa, but Thunder Rosa's troublesome.
Yeah.
She's a pain in the ass.
Yeah,
She's part of that. She's part of that elite Tessa Blanchard crew. You know, they're all the same. You know, sexy star. They're all pains in the ass.
I was about to say that.
You know,
yeah. Before we move on to the next match on the card for Wrestle Dream, if you guys are watching on Facebook, YouTube, Twitch, wherever you're watching, go ahead, drop a comment, let us know where you're coming from, where you're talking, where you're viewing us from, and give some feedback. We love to hear feedback from everybody that's watching us. But anyways, next match. I don't even know why this was a fucking match either. Nick Wayne and Luchasaurus.
Again,
Booking.
Luchasaurus is it.
Oh, he does. I don't think he should be with fucking Christian.
No, me neither.
I think that should take the mask off of him, let him feud with.
Yeah, that's exactly what I said. You know, have that moment. They want to book him like Kane. They want to make his entrance like Kane. What they should do is treat him like Kane. Have him rip off that mask and say, I'm not a fucking dinosaur.
That. All of that.
You know, fuck the dinosaur.
Yeah.
You know, Jungle Boy don't go by Jungle Boy anymore.
No, he.
You know, they got rid of the other little guy because he was too small.
And Marco.
You know, now you've got a big fuck off monster who is a monster in terms of ability and you know what I mean, the way he conducts himself. Fuck him how he should be booked.
Yeah, dude. They're treating him like Christian Cage's cuck.
Yeah.
And that's the best that I can say. They're treating him like Christian Cage's cuck, and it's sad. And Nick Wayne, he's super talented, but that I feel like that kid, you need to put him in contentions for like the FTW title, something that let him break away from, let him feud with Ricky Stark. Yeah. And I'm going to say this. He's going to be the next Darby. I love Darby, but he takes too many fucking... I feel one day his back is legitimately going to be broken. And he's way too young to be dealing with that.
Darby's and one bump away from Triple himself.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
We'll
talk about Darby here in a second. All right. So next match is going to be the Trios Championship. The Acclaimed to Billy Gunn. Daddy ass. Scissor and Daddy. Anyways, against TMDK, which is Shane Haste, Mikey Nichols, and Bad Dude Tito. I could take it or leave it.
Well, then, wasn't it? It was one on Saturday.
Yeah,
and that's
exactly.
You know, they're your trio champions, and that's what you do. That's what you're doing with it.
Mm-hmm.
You know, you could have had 3 guys come from New Japan.
Yeah.
To have a wrestling match. No. You went for the gimmick.
Absolutely. It was terrible. All right, so we're gonna move on to the main card, and I think that they skipped a match on this thing. But anyways, we'll go into the tag team match with the handicap match between the Righteous and MJF. The Righteous should have won.
I'm a Vincent guy. Vincent. You know? Yeah. You handicap match, and regardless whether he's your world champion or not, you know, you don't have the world champion go over in a handicap match. You have him lose by some sort of act that doesn't really hurt him.
No, I I love MJF. I loved him as a heel. I like him as a face now. But it just, I don't know, man. They let him drop those tag titles and go on about it. Go on about your business, man. But anyways, next we got Wheeler Yuta and Ricky Starks. Good match.
Solid.
Yeah, solid.
Yuta.
I'm not
I
a
love
fan of
Yuta.
Wheeler. Do you like Wheeler?
I'm a big fan. Yeah.
I'm not a fan of Wheeler. I'm just not sold on him. He feels like, hey, don't get me wrong. He's an amazing professional wrestler, but to me, I feel like he should have been put and the Varsity Blues or whatever they are, with Griff Garrison. Yes,
I just think I feel that gaining some traction. They slow him down again, so you kind of like, they brought him into the Blackpool Combat Club, yeah. And the issue I have here is the one person that they were relying on getting everyone over really was Regal.
yeah.
He was benefiting from that tutorage. Now I find Mox probably a lot. Mox falls into a weird thing with me because I don't think Mox is a great. I don't want to say worker, but I find his kind of choice wrestling quite. It's teetering on the edge, you know.
Yeah.
Danielson, like you said, a lot, and Claudio as much as the next guy. So I feel like you were kind of was brought in to be, this development, rest of them, but he just, he doesn't seem to. By now, I'd half expect him to be picking up a mic and dropping bombs on people with a mic. He ain't doing it. So to me, he's just, he's a wrestling guy. As a wrestler, he's phenomenal.
Yeah.
I'm
a huge fan. I'm a huge fan of Ricky Starks.
Ricky Starks is the man.
Push that man to the moon. If you're not going to, let him go.
Yeah.
Let him.
Yeah, I agree.
Because he feels like when his entrance comes out, or when his entrance comes on and he comes out and he's walking out of the ring, in my opinion, he looks like $1 million fucking dollars.
Yeah, he does. Yeah. And I said to a friend of mine, I said, you know what? Ricky Starks should be screaming that to the moon.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? That is Ricky Starks in a nutshell. You know?
Oh yeah.
The
fact that they haven't capitalized on him yet as TNT champion blows my mind.
Dude, I keep saying this. All roads lead to WWE, and Ricky Starks.
He's going.
Ricky Starks' deal is up in December. He'll be gone.
Oh, definitely. I think that him and Wardlow are going to be the next two gone. So the next match that is not listed on the website that I'm looking at, but it happened, was FTR versus Aussie Open or Aussie United, whatever.
Wow.
I love FTR. I do. I'm Aussie Open is growing on me, but now the big dude got injured. Both teams are great, and the match itself had a great pace, but there were so many botches in that match, dude, which is what led to Old Boy's wrist getting broken.
Yeah.
So many botches. They have so much chemistry. If you look a year prior, the match that they had where where FTR won the Ring of Honor tag titles. That match was a lot better than this one.
I think
And I think when we revisit these matches and we rewatch these matches, or try and rehash the past, and do the things that performers once have done, especially in like high caliber, highly rated matches, you're gonna fuck yourself over. And I think that's what happened here.
I think they're trying too hard now.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know, FTR don't need to try hard. You know, we were in that post earlier on on Facebook when I was hearing best tag teams, and you know, I heard a lot of people say Road Warriors, and as far as aesthetically, aesthetically looking, and back in the 80s, 90s, early 2000s, the bigger you were, the coolest you looked, the theme tune, the entrance. Road Warriors stood out about more than any apart from the likes of Demolition.
Yeah.
FTR for me, dude. You could take this tag team, right, and you could place them in the late 80s, in the 90s, and they would have high profile, matches which tag teams should have. When I look at them now, I'm just kind of like, it doesn't. I don't mean it to sound like I'm ungrateful, but they're in a promotion now, right, where I really look at it and I go, they're relying now on New Japan, Aussie Open. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
They were in New Japan. I think they've signed an actual deal now with AEW.
Yeah.
But they Fox, I clearly think there's a difference of opinions between the two. Like a lot of people have a difference opinions with the super kick, high flying flips and tips, Young Bucks. But I just think, how much more can FTR do? And what do they need to do? Nothing.
Yeah.
Anything. And it's not like a lot of people would say, oh, yeah, where do you think they're going to go, though, after this? Nowhere.
No. Let them retire.
Nowhere. There'd be absolutely no point in them jumping on the train or jumping on a plane and going back to Stamford, Connecticut.
No.
Because they can't make something work which will never work. And that's WWE tag team wrestling in a nutshell,
Yeah. Yeah, definitely. I agree. Next match that we're looking at is Will Ospreay, Takeshita, Sammy Guevara, the Don Callis family against Kenny Omega, Kota Ibushi, and Jericho.
I hate Callis, but I love his group.
Oh, I hate Callis. He is such a son of a bitch, but he is a good heel. He is fucking amazing heel.
I loved him. I loved him back in the WWE, dude, with Truth Commission. I just thought that was a great group.
Oh yeah.
I felt he needed someone like Sergeant Slaughter to be in it as well.
Yeah.
Takeshita, man, I love the guy.
Yeah.
I really do love the guy, and I hope that this kind of. I just think I'm looking at New Japan's picture, and I'm going, this guy should be in the mold.
Yeah.
You want to make all this shit work. Callis, Takeshita, you go over to Japan, you bring the New Japan world title back to AEW, make it work. Make it work,
Yeah.
I just thought that I thought the end result was the right result.
Yeah.
A lot of a lot of people like Matt, going ape shit because of how many L's Omega's taking. And you know what? Listen, Omega could take a loss every month for the next 12 months, and it wouldn't affect Kenny Omega.
No. And what I like about
I
the
mean,
okay, what I like about, and I'll say this, and I'll say it again when he comes back. What I like about Omega and kind of the Bucks right now, or the Elite, if you look at it, the Elite in total, they're taking a lot of L's, and they're giving back to other people, right? Like, and they're taking the stance of pushing the younger talent, right?
Yeah.
Bucks, Omega, Hangman, they've been doing this shit for a while, right? And they've gotten over so much everywhere that they go with, and they haven't even gone to WWE yet, or I don't think that they will, but they've gotten over fucking everywhere that they've gone. And
They've accomplished everything in every promotion that they've been.
Yeah.
They
don't need it anymore.
No. And I think what they're doing is the one thing that a certain Phil Brooks was critical of them, was the fact that they were unworkable. They didn't want to work with people. Yeah. Whether that's all a conspiracy now, when they're kind of like trying to rewrite wrongs, I don't agree. I don't agree, because too much of New Japan Pro Wrestling, and to know that isn't. That's not the case.
No.
No,
it's, and I feel like in that situation, personalities clashed, and that
oh yeah.
But anyways, before we move on to the next match, if you guys want to go ahead, give us a like, give us a follow. If you're not following us already, go to the Antisocial Network Facebook page, or wherever you're watching. Go ahead, follow us, like us. We're gonna be doing this every Friday. Same time, same place. It's important to talk about these things and step away from some of the usual stuff. So the next match we're going to get into, and this isn't also, I don't know why Wrestling Headlines is not putting up these matches. Oh, never mind, they did. I'm going to skip some matches because I felt like they were pointless. But Hangman and Swerve Strickland, I forgot how good that fucking match was.
How good Swerve is.
God. Okay, so they were in Seattle, Swerve's backyard, right? His hometown, right? The crowd ate Hangman alive. Ate him alive, right? At the beginning, and then halfway through, it was about a split crowd. But I got to say, having Hangman work the heel in this match and Swerve, having to fight back against that, God, such an amazing fucking match. I had to say I think that's Hangman's best match he's ever had.
Definitely, it definitely showed Hangman's, I would say. One of the things I always hear about Adam Page, right, which I don't agree with, is how you don't see him. He's not technically gifted. I disagree. Mm-hmm. I think the guy's very, very gifted in the ring.
Yeah.
Smash Mouth style, very, very, Blackjack Mulligan, smaller guy, Smash Mouth style wrestling, brawler, but he can mix it up.
Yeah.
And then you put him in the ring with shit, and I'm gonna say this, and I'm gonna go on record. I'm a Swerve guy, and I think he's pound for pound, in the top 3.
Whose house? Swerve's house.
Swerve's house. And I said this when he was in WWE. That this guy is one trigger. You know what I mean? And I used to go by the name, one trigger, the kill shot.
Yep.
Away from, you know what I mean, doing it. He's gone to AEW. He's put a bit of weight on, bit of muscle. He's carrying a bit of stock. Yep. And you know what? What a worker. Yeah. His entrance came on, Prince Nana doing the dance. Oh, my Lord. It's just gold, isn't it?
Yeah. Yeah.
He looked $1 million walking down the ramp.
Yep.
And I watched him in that match and I thought, give him the title.
Yeah. If and when he gets a title shot, I would love to see him come out with the kill shot mask.
Yeah.
With the kill shot mask from Lucha Underground. Just
Yeah.
let him do it, right?
Yeah.
It's fuck
It's full circle, isn't it?
Yeah, it really has.
Full circle.
Swerve, in my opinion, like you said, is top 3, and I believe it. You're right. This man's got his hands in just about everything, and he's amazing. Next match we'll look at. We've already talked about Danielson and Sabre, so we won't talk about that again. Next match, we'll jump to the main event because all these other ones to me are kind of like eh. Was Darby versus Christian for the AEW Championship in 2 out of 3 falls.
Mm-hmm.
I thought Darby was going to win, like hands down. I thought Darby was going to win, but I love Christian as a TNT champion, so I'm not fucked up about it.
No, me neither. Me neither. You know what? I love. I ain't gonna say. Listen, I believe Jay. Jay. I love him. He's unscripted.
Yeah.
I just think he does. That guy does his best work when you give him a mic and you go, let's go with it.
Yeah.
And we all know a certain promotion would not allow this man to do that.
No.
You know? And when you go back and you watch him in TNA, he was gold.
Yeah.
He's come there and dude, he's dropping fucking bombs on dead men and everything.
Yeah. Yeah, he is.
And I mean, when you can sit there as a wrestling fan and go, oh, no, he didn't.
Yeah.
He's going to get shot for that.
Right.
You know? And it's just that is the type of shit that you go, that's a heel.
Yeah. I like MJF, but I think Christian is the hottest heel in AEW right now.
Would you put the belt on him?
Oh, yeah.
You would.
That's hard. That's hard. I like Christian, but I don't think that he needs the AEW championship.
No, I don't. But at the same time, I feel if I could, and if I felt that it would gain more traction, yeah, I would. And I just feel what he's doing now with TNT is what the TNT title needed.
Yeah.
You know, I feel that what Gunter is doing for the IC, Christian can do exactly that for the TNT.
Yeah. It feels more prevalent, more established than the AEW championship, because it's defended so often, or because it's a big match feel, right? There's a reason.
Yeah.
There's 2 reasons why it was main eventing, but there was a reason why they had it as the main event, and that's because Christian's holding it and he's making it relevant, and it hasn't been relevant for a long time. Miro made it relevant. Cody made it relevant when he brought it in. Who else? Darby, when Darby had it, he made it relevant. But it started being hot potato with Wardlow and Samoa Joe and Will Hobbs. And I like all 3 of those guys, but it just felt like they were like, hey, let's rack up how many times. It was like the Charlotte Flair, Sasha Banks Women's Championship.
You could tell, right? That, or I might be just, assuming, but when you look at ratings, that you look the drop offs within you look at the drop offs within like a 2-hour show.
Yeah,
the likes of Joe, the likes of Wardlow, I was turning off.
Yeah,
but you can see, obviously, I would go as far as saying, the Christian probably been the most watched segments.
Yeah.
Because you know what I mean. People are sitting there and they're going, he's hogging that TNT title, and he's not even the champion. Luchasaurus is the champion, and Christian's giving it the old rings. It's my precious,
Yeah.
you know.
Yeah.
But now he's the champ,
Yeah. Yeah.
and yeah, I mean, we got him versus Darby, and I did think Darby was going to go over.
Yeah.
I felt there was going to be something, obvious what's coming, but I felt maybe Lucha or the other guy would have kind of cost him in some way, and he'd have flipped out and
Yeah.
enter the fold. Well, we know what happened, don't we?
Yeah. So one of the moments, the cringe-worthy moments, and it wasn't cringe like as in like, oh, that was no, was like, oh fuck, was Darby getting scoop slammed on the steps. Dude,
You know what?
God.
Listen, that's the type of shit I was on about when I said there just seems to be a lot. They're just fucking. It's the Mox line.
Yeah.
There doesn't seem to be any kind of. There's no fine line for safety.
Mm-mm.
I've seen so many botches in that company.
Mm-hmm.
And they're not silly botches. They are career ending.
Yeah.
I can't. If anyone was looking at that, after that match, and if Tony Khan didn't pull someone up,
Yeah.
I'm like, what? Do you know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah. They're doing unnecessary. They're taking unnecessary risks that they don't need to take, and it's going to end up getting somebody severely hurt in their career, their career like gone, or they're going to and that's it's just sad.
And I just, you know what I mean? I look at it and I think it doesn't want to need to be a dig at Christian, but even a part of me kind of thought, a guy of Christian's caliber and experience.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I think he did slip.
Yeah.
But it's the slip and just the way his back arches, and I'm like, oh no.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. But Darby Allin's made of concrete. I mean,
yeah. So the end of the match was Nick Wayne coming out to take the TNT title away from Christian because he was going to hit Darby when the ref was knocked out. Nick Wayne ended up turning on Darby. Do you think that was a good move?
Yeah. Listen, I'm getting to the point where I think Darby needs to turn on Sting and Darby needs to go pro, pro kind of dark.
Yeah.
And take up that kind of, be edgy. Be edgy. You're edgy already, but lose your shit.
Yeah. Yeah.
I think it's time,
Switch up your face paint.
Yeah. I would kind of mark out for a full black face paint, you know what I mean?
Oh yeah.
With a bit of an edginess about it. Maybe, I don't know, maybe go black and red, the Sting Wolfpack, and just turn on Sting. I think it's time for that. And I just think, yes, the lad made that was the right choice.
Yeah. Yeah, I agree. And that led to Christian taking the W. And so they continue to jump Darby after the match. Sting doesn't run down, he walks down. And they attack Sting. And they are about to hit him with a concerto, and a certain Mr. Adam Copeland had us on the edge of our seat. How do you feel about
Did you mark out?
I did. I mean, we all knew that it was going to happen, right? I feel like a lot of people that chose to look away from that and say he's not coming. They are really
No, it was. You know, I don't want to use the term predictable because I've used that term predictable before and it hasn't happened. You know, we knew.
yeah.
You know, I'd watched him. Make a few Twitter comments and things like that, and I felt that the removal of certain things from WWE websites was enough to kind of signify. And then as soon as they started talking about licensing of his,
Yeah.
theme music and things like that, I'll be honest, right? I was waiting for Dragula. That's what I was waiting for. I felt that would have been more symbolic.
Yeah.
They're never gonna stop,
Yeah.
But then obviously we got Metal Angus, Beth's voice at the beginning. I heard it and it was weird, because I didn't feel like it was a big deal.
No.
I just didn't. And it was weird because I didn't get that feeling when he came back in 2001 to WWE.
Yeah.
I read his comments, about two people growing apart. And, I feel that there's a lot more he can do now in AEW.
Oh, definitely.
There's a handful of matches that he can have and, all these things, but is a but with me.
Yeah.
I hate the fact that Tony Khan can't keep a checkbook in his pocket and work with what he's got.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
You're constantly relegating talent down the roster and promoting, and I'm looking at it and I'm like, how long does this last?
That's a good question.
For me, and I can get it. For me, it's great for the business. It's great for the business. It's great for AEW. AEW is great for wrestling.
Yep.
And the one thing you don't want to see constantly in wrestling is negativity.
Yeah.
And this isn't negativity. Oh, I hate AEW, blah, blah, blah. But there's a point where you go, you've just signed Adam Copeland.
Yeah.
I'm looking at it from the outside in, and I'm going, what can you do in 12 months? Yeah.
Yeah.
That's going to leave me going, wow.
Yeah.
I mean,
I
don't know.
I can tell you. I know what I would do if I was in Tony Khan's position. Especially after Wednesday. You want to know?
Do we?
So if you guys didn't watch Wednesday, Christian or Edge explained, or sorry, Adam Copeland explained why he came to AEW and what he wanted to do. And he brought Christian out and pretty much did the Randy Orton to Christian, if you think about it, and said, let's, tag team again. And Christian hugged him. And then on the microphone, they bleeped it out, but you can watch unedited versions online. He said, go fuck yourself. And then he walked out. I think from this point forward, what you do is you make Christian untouchable to Edge. You make Edge run, or sorry, not Edge, Adam Copeland, because we can't call him that anymore. You make Edge completely, or Jesus Christ, Christian completely untouchable to Adam Copeland. He runs through hoops trying to get to him. And we're talking about put them in matches together. Put them in tag team matches together. Put them in blood and guts together. Every time that Adam is, going to go attack Christian, his conscience kicks in, right? And he starts getting that psychological thing like, I can't do it, I can't do it, I can't do it. Or Christian runs away from Adam Copeland, right? Completely untouchable for 9 months. 9 fucking months. Mind you, Christian keeps the title and he's defending it. He's defending that TNT title. He keeps it. He's still going with it, going strong. Obviously, there's interferences that happened from his cohorts, but the one thing that makes Adam Copeland snap because Beth Phoenix is still under contract with WWE. You cannot blend the two. You cannot blend the two. You can't have her appear on AEW. And I doubt that they want to pull the kids angle. So what you do is you have Christian blindly attack Adam Copeland from behind and give him like 2, 3, 4 concertos. Like we're talking, it's supposed to be a career ender, right? Shot, going back to when Randy Orton did it to Edge.
Yeah.
Take Adam Copeland out of the fucking equation for a while. Let him sit on the sideline for like 2 months. He doesn't go on Twitter. He doesn't go on Instagram. He give them the Undertaker treatment where he doesn't say shit. And then Christian gets in his good spirit and says, I've beaten everybody. I've done everything. I can't, beat anybody anymore. And he throws an open challenge out for like, a crazy match, like a ladder match. Says, hey, I'm going to put this up on a fucking ladder. I'm going to have this suspended above the ring in a ladder match. Whoever wants to join me, bring your ass. Adam Copeland comes out and they have a fucking war.
That makes sense. TLC.
You could even, you could do TLC and rename it, right? But like a fucking war. And then Adam Copeland grabs that TNT championship and he has it, right? Let him lose it to somebody, a month or two later. Or maybe even just drop it back to Christian. Who gives a shit? Or Nick Wayne or somebody. But let him keep that for a little bit and then have him drop it. That would be a way to sell the feud, keep the story going, keep it alive, keep people interested because they're like, God damn, I hate Christian, right? Christian could do sneak attacks on the people around Adam Copeland, but not touch him.
You could kind of hear someone like Christian, cutting a promo about, TLC. We made fucking TLC,
right?
It's symbolic.
It really is.
It's symbolic. That's booking.
It would have to be that match between them would have to be a match that was worth the time. You could even pull it at All Out next year or All In Wembley because I'm pretty sure they're going back to Wembley. You could do it at Wembley.
Yeah.
You can do it at Wembley. You can do it in a TLC match and have it for the TNT Championship. And that could be your major cash in, right? Where that steals the fucking show because both of those dudes can still go. Anybody who says that Adam Copeland's washed up is fucking delusional.
No. Not washed up. He was watered down.
Yeah, he was watered down. Definitely,
he was watered down. WWE was too fucking scared to take a chance.
Yeah, definitely.
I'm one of these people, and I firmly believe that they're professional enough to know their own bodies. And the guy that retired, he came back because he knew his body was fixed.
Yeah.
I just think that this is a feud that can be a feud.
Yeah.
And I just don't want to see them fuck around with it.
No.
Yep.
So, guys, we're coming up to the end of our show, guys and gals, whoever's watching, whoever is going to watch in the future. We're coming to the end of our show. Every week we are going to be here. We're going to talk about wrestling. We're either going to talk about a pay-per-view that has happened or the weekly product, whatever is the biggest in the two. And we're going to get into it and we're going to dive in and share some of our opinions, our perspectives. we would like you to come on and share what you feel. We're trying to get this worked out so I can start seeing all the comments, because I wasn't seeing the comments in any of the chat. But anyways, thank you for hanging out with us. David, Butch, where can we find you? Not Butch as in Pete Dunne, but Butch, where can we find you?
You can find me at the Antisocial Network. You can also find me at Straight Up Wrestling on Facebook. There's more coming. There's more coming. You can also get me on the very, very soon. I think it could be this Sunday. The cutting room is going to be reopening. Yeah, we're working things out at the network, aren't we?
Yes.
There's a lot coming, and this man here is instrumental.
Thank you.
Keyword, people, instrumental, creative.
Absolutely. Thank you. And you can find me on Facebook. You can find me on Instagram, YouTube, everywhere where you listen to podcasts. And yeah, till next time, I hope you guys have a good day. And don't forget to do the hot tag to get your partner in. Much love. Be good.